Hi, everybody. Wow, week 8. I don't know about you, but this course has just flown by for me. I can't believe we are in our last week. But I do think it's great that you're going to finish up this course before Christmas, so hopefully that will feel good over the holidays. All right, so our objectives for our final week: determine the preparation for the distance nurse educator of the future. Forecast the career potential for nurse educators in the area of online teaching. With our discussions last week, I think this should be an easy week to be able to reply to those discussion questions. All right, so this week again is about online education with more of a focus on the future. So our first DQ deals with criteria to be a distance nurse educator, so I'll be interested in seeing what you think about that. And then our second one deals with career potential for online nurse educators. All right, let's look at that last assignment, the CLC Critical Thinking Case Study. All right, so yes, this is again a paper where you're going to describe a setting in which you will use a case study to teach some type of student. Okay, all right. Hopefully you can have fun with this one. I think it's kind of interesting. And developing case studies, we use that in both the clinical and the academic settings, so it's real world practice. All right, so you'll be writing about the setting and your students and the identified educational need. So what do they need to learn about? Then you're going to write objectives and also define your evaluation strategies. And yes, the objectives do need to be in the ABCD format because that really drives everything. So then you will need to tell me about what technology you will use, what your plan is for the technology for your case study. Are you going to use PowerPoint, some type of actors, simulation, an audio recording? How are you going to deliver this case study? And finally, you'll identify which assessment model you are using as a basis for choosing your evaluation strategy. Examples of those are in your text. So, a few notes. The rubric states that you need to have at least 3 objectives for the scenario. Okay. You also need to identify the advantages and disadvantages of your evaluation method. There are advantages and disadvantages to all evaluation methods. And then you'll also need to include at least 3 scholarly references, and that's in your rubric. Now, as far as the case study, I just want to be real clear. It just needs to be written out. And like I said, it can be part of your paper, it can be an appendix at the end of your paper, but you don't need to present your case study in the technology format that you've chosen. Okay, I just need it to be in writing. But I do need a specific example of your evaluation strategy. So let's say if at the end of your case study you're going to ask the students critical thinking questions. Well, I need an example of a critical thinking question. Let's say you're going to ask your students to do something, maybe in the sim lab or something like that. Well, I need an example of what you're going to actually ask them to do. Okay, so whatever your evaluation strategy is, I need an example of one piece of that evaluation strategy that's specific. And then finally, I need to be able to see that each student has contributed to the final product. And in just briefly looking over your group forums, it looks like you guys have divided it up well, and so, but everybody needs to write some piece of it, okay? And you know, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. That's what I'm here for, right? Okay. One last request. This week, you should be given access to your end of course survey. I would really appreciate if you would take the time to fill that out and submit it. Both myself and GCU find that information very valuable and just really helps us improve what we do. So I would appreciate if you would fill that out. And I just really want to let you know that I have greatly enjoyed working with you and getting to know you a little bit over these 8 weeks. It has been my pleasure to work with you. And I wish you much success in your future endeavors. I am very excited for you to go out and be the future nurse educators in our profession. All right, guys, once again, I'll see you in the main forum.